Oh, it's like testing on troops. The government's allowed to nerve gas troops. The government's pure evil.
Tonight, a young couple's recreational drug use is the reason Child Protective Services want to terminate those parental rights.
But wait until you hear and see what happened to their 4-year-old daughter while in CPS's care. Here's Randy Wallace with an Only on Fox investigation.
Who's going to get it out?
You drive him out.
For now, 4-year-old Rachel Harrison is back with her parents.
She belongs with her mother and her father.
But if Children's Protective Services has its way, Rachel's 28-year-old father, David, and her 24-year-old mother, Christina, will not be her legal guardians. CPS wants her to be adopted by non-relatives.
If it was up to them, absolutely. They'd take her away in a heartbeat.
You're probably thinking David and Christina must have done something really awful to their little girl for CPS to spend almost a year trying to terminate their parental rights.
And they actually testified in the first hearing that Rachel was never neglected, never abused, and she was a happy, healthy child.
Neither parent has been convicted of a felony, so then why is the state agency so hell-bent on stripping this couple of their parental rights?
I went to the hospital to get my appendix out and tested positive for cocaine.
Did you test positive too, David?
Yes.
Even though CPS has offered no evidence in court that Rachel was ever harmed by her parents' prior drug use, just the fact that they've done drugs is enough for CPS to say they should not be parents.
Why were y'all doing drugs?
Just recreational use. Out with friends, you know, holidays, an occasion. Never did it with Rachel around.
Last July, CPS took custody of Rachel.
Well, at first, we didn't see her for 3 or 4 months. They refused visitations.
When they finally got supervised visits with Rachel, family members say they couldn't believe their eyes. You might not either. Check this out. Here's a picture of Rachel that was taken 1 week before CPS took custody of her. Here she is in January, after 6 months in CPS's care.
When I was seeing her in foster care, it was killing me.
Every time we'd go to see her at visitation,
She was skinnier.
She would get skinny and she'd, you know, just be lethargic, not wanting to move, not wanting to say hi, and just sort of sit in the corner and just keep to herself.
Not even play.
And that's not her.
She would be drooling at the mouth. Her tongue would be hanging out. She couldn't focus. It was terrible. And I asked them, I said, is she on drugs? They said no.
But in a January court hearing, CPS admitted that the then 3-year-old was put on a number of psychotropic drugs, including risperidone, a drug commonly used to treat schizophrenia.
They take her away from you because they say you all were doing drugs. Then they take a 3-year-old and they put her on drugs.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I think no 3-year-old needs to be put on psychotropic drugs. None of them are psychotic.
According to court transcripts, there seems to be a question as to which CPS contracted doctor prescribed all the medications and why. Caseworkers have testified they had to place Rachel in various foster homes because she would act up. She acted up, her parents say, because she wanted to be home with them.
The only way to control her at that time is to dope her up.
While most judges seem to just rubber stamp the wishes of CPS, Associate Judge Stephen Newhouse is the complete opposite. We were in the courtroom for 2 recent hearings, and the judge didn't even try to hide his frustration. In one hearing, the judge said, quote, "There's no evidence the child had any behavioral issues before CPS came into her life. As soon as CPS takes her, now she needs help." In the hearings we attended, CPS suddenly changed caseworkers.
So no caseworker knows what the other caseworker's doing.
Whenever the judge would ask caseworkers...
When you're up...
Yes, yet another document, actually scores of documents, have come out from Barack Obama himself, from his publicist, saying that he was born in Kenya. In book reviews by his publicist, his literary publicist, over 16 and a half years, Barack Obama advertised himself as born in Kenya. We have 2 video clips of his wife saying it. You just type in Michelle Obama says Obama visited his homeland. Video pops up right there, 2 different times. In 07 and 08, she said it. Everyone that knew him said his name was Barry Soetoro. They said that was a conspiracy theory for 3 years. Then a year after that, about a year ago, they came out and said, you know what? He was born in Hawaii, but his name was Barry Soetoro. And yeah, here's all the documents, and here's his friends. And all his records are sealed, all of it. And now we get this literary agent in all these publications of all these years, and in the big Harvard publications and everything, saying, born in Kenya, born in Kenya, born in Kenya, born in Kenya. And then Dr. Corsi goes over there a few years ago, and they arrest him and put him on house arrest. And then expanding on that, they say, oh, we've released his birth certificate, and it's a computer receipt printout. And then they go, oh, we did find it. Here's the original form you keep asking for, and it looks like a 5-year-old made it. And when, I got it, blew it up, saw that it was a fake font typewriter, computer font that looks like typewriter. We even know the name of it, because the A's and Q's and I's and T's were all identical. They had fake ink splats around them, but they were identical. Every strike on a typewriter is different. How hard you push, where it hits on the tape, how it smudges, where it hits on the paper. It's like a fingerprint. These were 100% identical. It's fake. There's a fake typewriter computer font. We even know the name. That's why the police in different areas get it and they go, I can't believe it. This entire thing is like a 5-year-old made it. You know, we have that video out. It's got like 1 million views online. We're on the nightly news. I broke down that the birth certificate was fake day one. How did I know? I said, okay, it's in multiple layers. That's not just the computer program. It was made in different layers, and this is a fake typewriter font. Notice here, the A up here is identical to this one with the exact fake splat here. You understand? It's faking splats, but a computer doesn't generate a new fake splat each time. It looks like it's a typewriter type, but it's not. And people sit there and go, oh, whatever, you birther. I wasn't a birther, but the guy's not who he says he is, okay? Period. We're in a lot of trouble here. It's in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I haven't even gotten to that yet, because I saw a case out of Houston that isn't even one of the bad ones. And I went and looked up where the CPS takes children to medical companies. New York State is the worst. I mean, if you live in Manhattan, the city's even worse. And they take mainly black people's kids. And the incredible part is, it's black people taking black people. And they take them. And in this one case that was in New York Daily News 5 years ago, and I was able to pull it back up, just type in children taken in New York pesticides. It'll come up. There's thousands of them. And they come and they tell the black woman, we're going to take your 2-year-old if you don't sign papers and stop fighting to give us your 7-year-old. And they take the 7-year-old and over a month-plus period, torture him to death. Totally healthy, happy, and they murder him. And then finally, some sanity cuts in. I guess a little bit of black pride, some used to that, and goes, well, wait a minute, we're delivering black kids to be killed. So the CPS, because they were black, spoke out. I guess it'd be all right if it was a white kid they were doing it. And believe me, they do it to them too, but blacks are their favorite because they're easier to get. They're like, it's just black people, kill them. Let God sort them out. It's kind of the attitude of these globalists. And then the CPS workers got in trouble for talking about it. I mean, folks, this is murdering children. This is murdering them. And so, no, my top story is not Barack Obama or the fact that our articles are on the Drudge Report and everywhere else, and millions of people are hitting Infowars.com, and the site's barely staying up right now. Because you know what? Ladies and gentlemen, this story explains everything to us. How you can have over 1 million children a year taken by CPS. And if it's some Hispanic baby or black baby that the mills don't want to adopt out, they can get around $400,000 for a blonde-haired, blue-eyed baby. They just only get some of the black and Hispanic kids because they only need so many of those for medical experiments. They're mainly used for medical experiments. John is in there putting different stuff on screen, all the groups fighting it, Bayer testing on the kids, the pesticides, all of it. It's unbelievable. And they get EPA and government waivers to do it. Well, of course, I mean, they've killed tens of thousands of our troops in these tests. Oh, yeah, they tell them, oh, your son died of the flu, after they tell them a week after they die, because they dissect the body, and they march the private in, flip the switch, hit him with sarin or VX, and dissect his brain an hour later. These are good people in the government. You know, they didn't do 9/11. Man, they're nice. They wouldn't do, the government wouldn't do something like that. Oh, no. They wouldn't bring 20,000 Nazis over here to head up NASA, the CIA, and every other agency with Operation Paperclip. No, they're nice. They're nice people. The stuff that went on in the Angel of Death's laboratory is nothing compared to what goes on in Austin, Texas with little kids they take. And let me tell you, all of you that help them, the police, the judges, all of you, most of these judges are pedophiles that are involved. I didn't take one look at them and see that. But the point is, all you cops that go along with this, you are cursed. And I'm not the one cursing you. But I just pray right now that all of us pray that all of those that abuse these children and hurt them, that we ask God to bring judgment upon them, because we are weak and pathetic and are weak vessels, and we are trying as hard as we can as pathetic vessels to stand up for the children. But God, we call on you. Now, I thought about doing this morning. I'm doing it right now on air. God, I call on you right now to make an example of these wicked doers. And I call on you and ask you that you will judge them now. Judge them now and bring them to their knees like Saul of Tarsus. That you will judge them now today. I want them listening now today. I want them to see what happens now. In the name of Jesus Christ, I ask you, Father, to come to the aid of these children. You said it would be better for them, those that have hurt the little ones, to tie a millstone around their neck and be thrown into the deepest sea. Well, I ask you to bring judgment upon them now. I want all of you to pray that. I want judgment brought on these people right now. And believe me, they know too. We've only done this a few other times, and let me tell you, there's going to be a lot of people hurting today. And they deserve it. But you know what? I don't take any pleasure in how hellish your lives are because you're evil. I want you to stop hurting these children, you wicked hyenas. I see you. I smell your stench, and you make me want to throw up. And let me tell you, there's a lot of people that got direct lines to God out there praying right now that you be brought to justice one way or another. And again, it just hits me that we've not done enough to cover this and to focus on this, and we're going to start really focusing on this. And the problem is the crying and the begging and the people calling, and you go to their house and you want to believe they're bad, and it turns out they're not, or it's because they got blood tested to get surgery, and they smoke marijuana, and then you throw them in with people that put their kids on an average of 7 drugs in these big, dirty facilities where the kids get raped and everything. I mean, my God, this is evil. And it's all premeditated. I wrote some notes this morning. This is not an accident. This is coordinated. This is the same all over the world now. This is done the same. We must champion these children. Those of you out there, this is my main message. You're like, well, what do you do? Start going to family court and watching. Get involved when your neighbors are under attack. Call into talk radio. Spread articles around about CPS abuse. When you're in a store, most gas stations, they've got a thing for the local house for children that have been taken. It's help abuse children. Folks, they're probably raping those kids 24/7 in there. They don't have them drugged up out of their minds. I mean, let me tell you, most of these things are just big money-making operations. Are there real foster parents and real good people out there? Yeah, you'll see them. They're usually, you got to typecast them, they're white Christians who've adopted, 10 mentally retarded black children. Those people are all over the place. So there are real ones out there, okay? I know some of them.